My
Hey guys. Hey guys. We're back. Wait, do it again. You don't have to stop it. Just sit down. Just sit down. We'll do this. Hey guys. After our Florida vlog, I had so many people swipe up to my Instagram and say they want to hear our story / how we met / how we got here, because it doesn't really make sense if you just look from the outside. So we thought we'd just tell y'all. He's gonna give his side and then I'm gonna give mine, but I probably intervene just a little bit if he gets anything wrong.
Yeah, so I grew up in Illinois. For those of you that don't know, I went to high school there. In Wheaton, Illinois.
Small town.
A little small town. I graduated high school in May. We moved to Nashville June 1st of 2021, that summer. And my family and I didn't know anyone. We kind of moved just kind of as like a leap of faith, wanted to go down to the South. And when we got there, I met some people, but also didn't really know anyone. And I got to know this group of guys that grew up with Miller Ann's family.
Tell them how you met them in person.
No, yeah, I knew one of them from social media, and met him at a Uncle Julio's in Brentwood, and we kind of got to talking and then started hanging out. We got really close, and it turns out that they grew up with Miller Ann and her family, and that was in June. And then the start of July, they were like, "Hey, dude, there's this girl Miller Ann who's part of the Meredith family."
Set the scene. Where were you?
Where was I?
One of their houses, and y'all were just talking.
Oh yeah, we were at one of their houses, and at a release party actually, and he was like, "Parker, there's this girl Miller Ann who is single as well. Y'all are the same age. Like, you should definitely at least hit her up. You know, like
Pause.
why not?
Pause.
Why not? You know."
They actually thought I was taken, but Parker still hit me up anyway. So, anyway, proceed.
Yeah. So I went to Instagram, looked her up, and I got to her profile, and it said follow back. So I was like, okay, I got you. Let's go. Talk to me. And so I just DM'd her. All I said was, hey. Like, I don't know.
Hey, with that exclamation mark. Bruh.
I didn't really know like what the vibe was, so I was just like, hey, you know, it's a good just like icebreaker, get into it. So we started talking, we started DMing, and she was in Montana, and I was still in Illinois, like at our lake house. Like last time we'd ever go to our lake house in Illinois, we were moving down like that weekend. So we got to talking, and I was just like, hey, if you'd be down, I would love to just hang out, and you can maybe show me around Brentwood. Yeah, and she was like, for sure. Gave me her snap, right?
He asked for it. I didn't just give it to you.
I asked for it.
I'm better than that, guys.
And so, yeah, we from there hung out probably, how long after that DM?
No. Probably like a week and a half.
Yeah.
Because you DM'd me the night before I left my Montana trip. And then we DM'd all Montana, got back, and then you got back like 3 days later from your lake house.
Yeah.
And then we hung out the next day.
Yeah. And mind you, this is in July. I was leaving for college in August.
And I was going into my senior year of high school. Okay. Side note.
Setting the scene.
Tell them about when you picked me up.
Oh yeah, so I was getting there, but so we ended up hanging out, and she sent me her address. I was kind of nervous because I'm like, okay, this is a girl I don't know, and I don't know her family. I'm new here, you know, just the whole shebang. So I pull up to her house, you know. I know obviously I'm gonna walk up to her front door, probably meet her dad. Didn't know I'd meet her whole entire family, but walked up to the front door.
Extended family.
Yeah, and I met Miller Ann. It was great. We walked into her kitchen, and it's like you walk in, it's kind of closed off, and then it opens to like a big island and like family room, and you can kind of see everything. Well, when I walked in, literally there was like 15 people sitting around this island.
More than that.
15's
there
like,
was like 30
yeah, maybe 20. And it was crazy. I was definitely nervous, but
I was nervous.
I met her dad. I met her mom. I met her brother, some of her sisters, and her aunt and her grandparents. So
and my siblings' friends.
Yeah.
You didn't meet all my siblings that day.
Like, I was genuinely pretty nervous. And finally, it went great, I think.
I mean, here we are.
Yeah, it went great. And so after that, I took Miller to Sonic. Classic first date. I don't really know.
You got ice cream?
Yeah, we got some ice cream. It was great. Came back, dropped her off. It went awesome. Like, it went awesome. And I was totally like, wow. I just didn't know what to expect going into it. And after, I was like, okay. Wow.
Okay, wow, what?
That was awesome. I really, really, really like this girl. And then we went on a second date. How long after that?
Like 3 days.
3 days after that, we went on a second date, and I asked her out.
To be his girlfriend.
The second time I ever met her. I just had a feeling, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send it before I leave for college, you know.
He was leaving in legitimately 2 weeks.
And she was definitely shocked, but...
I was like, what? Yeah.
Yeah. And then that was during the week, and that weekend, literally that weekend, her mom invited me to the lake with them, and I was fired up.
I didn't even know she was gonna do that. She's like, hey, Parker, we're going to the lake tomorrow. Do you want to come? I was like...
And it honestly was best case, because literally they know I grew up on a lake, and I grew up on the boat, so it was perfect. Set up great for a first time, kind of introduce everything.
Okay, but now let me tell my part, and then we can go from there.
Okay, that's fine. But.
Okay, so I'm about to leave for Montana, and I had been following him for like a week because one of my best friends told me like this TikTok boy just moved to Nashville, and I was like, okay, so I followed him. I'm like, how many followers did you have? Like 30,000. I was like, he's never gonna notice, whatever. Well, then I get a DM from him like a week later, and I was like, what the heck? Like, what? Well, actually I got a follow back, and then I got a DM, and I was just like, what is happening? DM me, yada yada. We start talking. I'm in Montana, and I like love talking to him over the phone, but my sister Annabelle was like, stop responding. Like, you gotta stop responding, because if he wants to talk to you, he's gonna keep reaching out. And I'm like, oh, I love talking to him, of course, but older sister keeps me in check. She's like, just stop. I'm like, okay. So I didn't respond one day, and then he like swiped up to my story the next day. Annabelle was like, I told you, Miller. And I'm like, yeah, you're always right. So swiped up again. Then we ended up hanging out. Went great. He met my entire family like the day I was meeting him, and my dad was just like, my name's Mike, nice to meet you, and like sat down. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
but
shoot,
I love that about him.
Yeah, I did too. I definitely respected that.
Yeah, for sure. Then my parents were like, okay, you're talking to this boy from the north who does TikTok. Like, my dad and brother's like really into hunting and like all the southern things, and so they were like, what the heck? But when he came to the lake with us, they were like, let's see what this boy's made of, whatever. Well, he started surfing on this, like he got on the surfboard behind the boat, and my brothers are pretty good. Like, my little brother Josh was really good, and Parker gets on the surfboard and just starts ripping, like doing 360s and all these things. At first he was like humble about it, whatever, but then he got like really good on the surfboard, and I was like, what? And all my brothers were like, dang. So he kind of started gaining, he started gaining their respect then, and they were like, wait, this boy's like kind of legit and awesome. And they saw how he could hang with my family, which like...
No, yeah, I got along with the boys very well, which is great. Like, honestly, It was awesome, because then I didn't have to like, from there on out, have to like just tag on Miller and Tip every time I went with her family, you know?
Right.
It was like awesome that I was part of the boys.
Yeah, and, well, it took, definitely took.
Well, right. But like,
I mean, they weren't just like...
No, for sure, but it was, we definitely got along.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
For sure.
Well, and, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, but anyway, so that happened at the lake, and that was end of July, maybe start of August.
End of July.
Yeah.
He asked me on July 21st and left for college August 9th.
Yeah, so I went back up north to a small school in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, for my first semester of my freshman year when Miller ends a senior. And it was crazy because, like, we'd been dating for, like, 18 days or something at that point.
Yeah.
And I had to go to college. And so, like, we did long distance that first semester. And I didn't last very long there. But one semester. I drove back many times for long weekends. It was like 5.5 hours to be with Miller Ann, her family, my family. So it was definitely a grindy season. But after that first semester, I transferred to Chattanooga, UTC, which was great because it was only 2 hours from Nashville. It was in Tennessee, beautiful city, and I was there for my second semester of my freshman year while Miller Ann was graduating her senior year. And
mind you, while he's transferring all these places, I'm in the college process. My heart is like set on Auburn the whole time. And Parker's like, Auburn? You want to go to Auburn? Like this big SEC school? And I'm over here like at UTC playing football. And I was like,
for anyone watching this from up north, big schools up north, like the vibe is like you go there to party. And like, I didn't know down here SEC schools and fraternities, sororities have Bible studies and people who have real relationships with the Lord. Yeah. And so I'm thinking this new girl I just met is going to school and going to go buck wild.
I'm like, why do you think
I'm screwed. So
okay, that's dramatic.
That was going through my head.
I was thinking, why do you think my morals are going to change depending on the place that I'm in?
And I can only say that now because we're on the other side and I'm at Auburn. So
what?
Just keep going.
Okay. And you act like I'm crazy.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I can dog on Auburn in that season when I was because now I'm here at Auburn and I love it. So
right. Yeah, look who won that battle.
Yeah, you won.
I'm kidding. I didn't, but the Lord totally brought him here for a reason, so it's great. But so I'm deciding like my college process. I really want to go to Auburn this whole time. He's at Chat. I go to Auburn, which is 3.5 hours away. Then we're like doing long distance, 3.5 hours there, back, whatever. He's playing football, so he can't just like up and leave whenever though. So I was like making trips. One time I actually got a speeding ticket, and my mom was like, well, you're not driving back in the mornings anymore. Like, you have to drive slow. I'm like, yes, ma'am.
Well,
anyway.
She drove back Monday morning after a long weekend and missed a class. Got a speeding ticket. It wasn't a good look.
Side note, it's kind of a cool setup though, because like in his house in Chattanooga, I have my own bedroom, and that was hype.
It's definitely great. Made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
Anyway, so then you can tell this part. How you go to Auburn?
No, yeah, I mean, like, so Miller Ann went to Auburn as a freshman. I was now going into my sophomore year at Chattanooga. We had been doing long distance for a year now. A year now. And it was definitely tough at first.
It was hard.
Just like Miller Ann being in a sorority at a SEC school.
Gay parties, he couldn't come to them.
I'm at football like, constantly, working out.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely a season of growth.
Yeah, no, we were forced to grow, which was awesome. And like, long distance obviously can be tough, but we both learned to love it. Like, because we were forced to grow, and the time that we spent together was so much more intentional, you know?
For sure.
But we went through that first semester, got through it. It was fine. You know, wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst.
But it was like, we definitely had an awesome
We did. We made the most of it. And second semester rolled on. I kind of like, I didn't love Chattanooga, and
stop fidgeting.
There was some like hair on the table. You just got me off track.
You're like.
So second semester, I didn't love Chattanooga. Miller Ann was at Auburn. I'd been to Auburn, like visited before. Hank was at Auburn. my little brother was now coming to Auburn. And I was kind of like, dang. And so I prayed a lot about it, and ultimately was like, shoot, that's where I should be. I applied. I got in like in 2 days, and by the end of that spring, I guess that summer, I was going to Auburn as a student. Had to get everything figured out. Miller Ann, what are you laughing at? Miller Ann I was gonna say we were both back for the summer, but we weren't.
When? Last summer?
Yeah.
I went to camp.
Yeah, she was at camp for
weeks.
half of it, which was cool because it was kind of like the last hurrah of our long distance. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. And
yeah, it was cool because when we were on our own, we got to like grow individually, which we were definitely growing individually, still dating, but like I was so unplugged the whole time. He was in Nashville, like planning his roots because his family moved to Nashville. Don't want to speak for you, but like moved there and then he left. So he still is like, I'm in college, but what's my sense of belonging? Like, where's my home now? So it's cool that you got to like go back and plant your roots and make that your home.
No, for sure. And we went to Hawaii with her family this summer, and it was super fun. And the summer before that, when we were a year in, our families both went to the Bahamas together.
Which was nuts.
It was crazy.
So
and
much
it was
fun.
so sick. It was so fun. But now we went on that vacation to Hawaii. Now you came back from camp. We started my first semester, your sophomore year, my junior year. And we're 2 months in? 2 months in here at Auburn.
It's crazy, like learning how to date in person because we've never done it before.
I know, it's actually nuts.
But it's really fun. Like Parker got me flowers today and candy and wrote me a letter, and like the intentionality's there. So I just cooked dinner. It was great.
Yeah, it's awesome being in person, and it's kind of crazy how now that we're 2 years in, I'm at Auburn. I mean, I grew up in Chicago. I didn't even know what Auburn was, and now I'm at school at Auburn. And
crazy.
Yeah, but
also his brother Hank was not even supposed to like go here in the first place, and then like the Lord totally moved him here, and that was such a God thing because I feel like if he wasn't here, it would be more difficult of a decision for
no,
you.
yeah,
Like,
obviously, like having siblings at the same school is so awesome. I'll probably live with them next year. We can go golf. He also has football workouts, but yeah, golfing.
Golf, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, we also
Probably some hunting too.
we both just
Enjoy it.
we both just bought some bows.
Okay, you're getting off track.
So these
now we're
deer
at Auburn, and it's awesome. And
it's awesome. Yeah, it's
if you
awesome.
want long distance advice,
Yeah,
just
seriously,
reach out because
y'all
we
need to hit
have
us up.
all the things
Yeah,
in our back pocket.
please hit us up.
Yeah.
It is what it
Thanks for
is.
listening, guys.
Thanks for listening. Hit us up with some questions. Subscribe. Let's go.